Now, I'm slightly discombobulated to hear that neither of you knew this was going to be captured on video. So I thought you were both looking so fabulous that you dressed up specifically for the event.
Yeah, I thought it was just audio.
Oh, there we go. You
I
see,
get out of bed looking like this.
So the manly stubble, and the manly stubble.
Sorry, I mean yes.
Yes. Now, I've been very keen to talk, especially always keen to talk to twonks, but you, Paul, have always kind of been, for me, the visible face of neurodiversity at the Fringe. After I got over the fact that I thought you were just a bad-tempered, nitpicky, irritating bloke.
Do you know my wife?
And it was like, oh no, he's not just nitpicking, irritating and bad-tempered, he's neurodiverse. Oh, well, that makes it okay. You must be, or are you gutted to find out that every second comic at the Fringe now is, you know, it's like Spartacus, isn't it? I'm neurodiverse.
The whole idea of what I was doing was to cause that to happen, for all of us to come out and be positive and have a good self-image. I'm a Buddhist. The whole thing was all about supporting other neurodivergent artists and trying to make sense of the whole thing. That's all I've ever been trying to do. I am a very happy man. I spent all my 30s
you might like
in
your
the
face
Buddhist
show
movement. Yeah, well, this is what I look like when I'm happy. With a face like this, I'm still happy. So no, this is absolutely marvellous. I would like to be antiquated. I would like to be eclipsed, because there's a specific positive message I'm trying to put out there about being autistic, loving yourself, okay? A good positive identity. We're not taking away support services from severely mentally disabled people who qualify for an autism diagnosis. We're just saying, here we are. We're sick and tired of pretending to be something we're not, which I spent my entire life doing until I was 41. I used to finish the Stealth Ashes Theatre Company shows saying, I can't do a piece about myself because I'm still in the closet. And I'm standing there on the stage, I'm still trying to pretend I'm some kind of neurotypical, highly functional, like everybody else, intelligent, smart, and it's even a bit sexy.
I feel your pain about people who are out there pretending to be something that they're not. However, my problem is with people who are out there pretending to be comedians when they're not.
It's not funny, is it?
It's not funny. But there is something when non-neurotypicality goes right. It creates a kind of magic. Now, Paul Vickers, aka Twonkey, all the years I've seen you, I've seen Twonkey and you as this wonderful, like a person from another planet. Like even when you're being you, there is an otherness. And it made your work and Twonkey so special. And now I read on your bumf, you've just had a diagnosis as well. So you weren't wonderful, you were just ill.
Wasn't ill. There's a different operating system.
It's a massive disappointment to me. I'm sorry, but...
No, well, I didn't put it on my bumf. I messaged you privately that I was autistic because but yeah, I'm not doing the show about being autistic.
Thank heaven for that. You're one of the few.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's my usual show.
Yep. You don't have a usual. There is nothing about any of your shows that is ever usual.
No, but it's. I mean, I'm 50 and I've only recently found out. I've only recently got the diagnosis, so I don't really know what to do about it. I've got a bus pass.
Yay!
So that's something.
The thing you do is you sit in that foyer and have a great conversation with me, and you find yourself in me and you. It's like myself and my wife and our cat.
Please don't mutter. You're making it very difficult for the people at home.
Sorry. Normally, I'm told I've got a voice like the Mersey Foghorn.
It's wonderful.
Which is where I come from. What you do is you find other autistic people, you have empathy for our own kind, and you find love and acceptance and understanding and kinship. How can a disorder give you abilities? How can it give you all the classic autistic cliches, attention to detail and intelligence? And how can it be the basis of long-term loving relationships like my marriage, and parents and children relate to each other on that basis? It's just like coming out.
But, no, okay, not but, and, much better word, and then if you put yourself in the comedy section of the world's largest arts festival, and probably that makes the comedy section the largest comedy section in the world's largest. Please, how do you make that funny? Because if not, go and put yourself in spoken word, go and write a play, go and do whatever. But the deal you make with your audience and your critics and whatnot is you're funny. You're in the comedy section, you are a comic, you are funny. And then you are anything else. I mean, when did you get your diagnosis?
The 21st of June. So recently.
Had you already, well, presumably had 21st of June, put the show together?
Yeah, more or less.
Did it change it?
No, it's still the same show. It's just now I look back on what I've done in a slightly different light as I find out more information about what autism is.
Okay.
There's certain things where I think, oh, well, that's quite an autistic thing that I've done there, but I didn't realise at the time. But like, I think it seems like a lot of people are autistic. Is it not something like 1 in 10 or something?
You give me 6 people. You go out there, find 6 people, ask them. 1 will be autistic or have a connection. You won't believe what happens. 6. Any 6 random people.
Yeah, I mean, I realise that there's all kinds of, especially in psychiatry, psychology, where once upon a time you'd have been stuck in a padded cell and all that. But
my looks, I mean.
I'm not saying in your case that wasn't a bad idea. But it's the pathologising. If you know what I mean. You're like nobody I've ever met in my life, Mr. Vickers. You do incredible show, extraordinary comedy that isn't like anything anyone does. And I like that you're a creature of wonder and specialness rather than, he's autistic.
Well, there's probably quite a lot wrong with me that has been undiagnosed. I don't know, but like I think I was watching a thing of Herzog,
right,
where he was going on about psychoanalysis and how he was against psychoanalysis because he felt that like if you took a house and you shone a light in every small corner of that house and illuminated it, you wouldn't necessarily want to live in that house anymore.
Absolutely.
And so he's against psychoanalysis, which I agree with, because if you knew everything about yourself and every possible thing that was wrong with you all the way through your life, it would affect you tremendously, and you would also probably make excuses for various things along the way as well. So I think knowing too much about yourself, you want a bit of mystery, you want a bit of, I don't quite know why I do that, but I do, I think there's room for not knowing everything about yourself, I think.
And just being wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, when did you be told medically that you weren't just a grumpy kid?
I was charming, charismatic, and full of energy and creativity. Yeah.
Okay, you say potato, I say potato.
I'm a Scouser. What am I doing in the comedy section? Well, I was in a court case. I was basically arrested in the cinema on Thursday, 30th of May 2004.
What were you doing?
I was attacking children. It's in The Guardian. The whole thing's described in The Guardian.
Oh, well
I was live.
nice.
Thank you.
Oh.
Middle-class graduate intellectual.
Excellent.
What happened was 4 kids stitched us up in a cinema, made made out my best friend from school when I was 10, and we were both 41, assaulted them. By the time we'd been cleared of common assault, my sister-in-law, who, a Cambridge graduate, who insisted I had neurodiversity, had won because she'd worked really hard to get me for our diagnosis in Cambridge, psychotherapy practice. And then I had it paid for by the courts, and then of course we're cleared because we never did anything. And I go to social groups in London in December 2004, Find My Neuro Tribe, as is the books by Steve Silberman, which I heartily recommend, another deeply positive paradigm. And then in February 2005, meet my wife, who's only just got a diagnosis, who's an A-level chemistry teacher, has no history of mental illness, and didn't know anything about it. I mean, in 2001, a consultant psychiatrist in Bath Hospital told me there was nothing at all wrong with me. Zero.
Good grief. How much time had he spent with you?
I spent quite a lot. I was in a Buddhist movement at that time, doing nothing but 2-week retreats. So all I used to do is chill out. And that's the weird thing about me. I'm tense, I'm anxious, I look very aggressive, very loud. But the truth is, I'm actually, there is no help or therapy. I'm fine. I just function. That's why I look like this. There's no drink, there's no drugs. Oh my God, I'm so young.
It's that thing, I'm perfectly happy, well, let your face show it. Let your face know it.
Haven't you seen my gentle side? Are you sure you don't see me as a soft and beautiful person sometimes?
Let me think about that. I've thought about that. No. So what's the show?
Well.
Here we go.
My glamorous assistant. Thank you, Paul. This is, thank you very much. This is Eccentrics Unite. It's about the closet autistics who were there in plain sight all through human history, but nobody realised they were.
Oh, that sounds
interesting.
interesting.
I have books and books, like this book. Well, this book is the source of the show, and it doesn't once mention autism and neurodiversity at all. And yet Dr. Jamie, what's his name? David Weeks and Jamie James wrote this. He, funnily enough, was based in Edinburgh. Psychoneurologists, no way they realised that they were meeting hundreds of neurodivergent people who didn't know they were autistic.
Okay, this is controversial.
Yep.
Isn't it better that way?
That you don't know what you are?
Yeah. You are just your own kind of wonderful.
Well, this is the argument you've put.
Yeah, well, I think there's something to be said for not knowing it all. You know, and like I say, suddenly knowing at 50 that I'm autistic, I don't entirely know how useful that is going to be in my life. Yeah, like I say, I get a bus pass.
That's useful.
And yeah, no, it is useful. And I look over things that I've done, and I'm slowly starting to learn about autism because I don't really know that much about it. And I didn't, when they were analysing me, I didn't want to self-diagnose myself. So I didn't
Why did you go and get analysed?
Well, my dad told me that he was diagnosed in the army. And my dad does appear very autistic, you know, and that kind of made me look into it.
Instead of going to do findyouраncestors.com, you can find your neurodiversity.com. So what is your show about? Is it another... there's no such thing as a typical Twonkey show, but is it a Twonkey show?
It is. It's kind of, well, I've had to abandon some Twonkey shows, like Twonkey's Custard Club. I abandoned
Sounds wonderful.
During COVID because of
not sharing custard.
Well, it's kind of about a world where it's about sweets becoming more important than savoury and like
You see, this sounds wonderful.
people eating like, you know, the sweet
Before the I'm very down with that.
And there was a whole thing about it, and I wrote a whole show about it, and I had quite a lot of songs about custard, and maybe too many songs about custard.
You can't have too many songs about custard.
We've got
You just
custard
can't. I
pies
think
in
you'd
my
agree
show.
with that.
I'm working with a woman called Nikki Veer Compton now. She came as a guest. She started contributing. She more or less took over. And she is the UK Pie Party. You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
Every time I say the wrong thing, there's the plate, there's the shaving foam, straight in.
So what is, if not custard, shame, what is this show about?
Well, it's kind of, in a way, it's a greatest hit show, really.
Oh, wonderful.
So it collects together.
It must be about a whole day long.
It is quite long, yeah, and it's been quite hard to work out how to keep it within the hour. And also, we work.
Find someone with OCD, they'll sort it out for you.
Which bits work together. So it's a bit like sort of, you know, Michael Jackson's "This Is It." This is.
Oh yeah.
This is it. But it's got a bit of the custard club in it because I wanted some custard in it, and the only problem is I kept opening that Word document. I was thinking, because you're sitting there the whole time during COVID, just in your house, and I lost confidence in custard.
Oh, that's tragic.
Time
well,
to get away from
I hate to end on a downer, but I think if, as we go and you tell us where and when your shows are on, I think we, our lovely camera person, and everyone watching at home or on the interweb can make a solemn vow to regroup, to reconnect with custard. Where's your show on and when?
The Video Rooms,
Perfect.
6:30. It's called Twonkey's Greatest Twitch.
Oh, I love it.
And I am Eccentrics Unite, bar 50 at 1 o'clock for the whole of Fringe except Mondays.
And you have...
Badges.
You get badges.
I have badges. Would you like to read some of these badges, Paul?
You see, you tried to...
Oh, you got... I'm so sorry. I apologise.
I'm dyslexic. I just kept...
Oh, my God. Oh, this is just... We're not going to do
Sabotage,
any
isn't
reading.
it?
We're not going to do... no. Oh, really?
I'm ashamed of myself.
You should be booted out the Neurotypicals Club.
Completely forgot.
Right.
I've got no memory.
No, we're just going to go now before anything else goes
Sex causes
horribly
autism.
wrong.